guys, I'm Pixel Dan, and this is a review of the Masters of the Universe Classics, Octavia. The Evil Horde gains a new member on our toy shelf in the form of a character that never appeared in the vintage Masters or Princess of Power toy line, but was only featured in the Filmation cartoon series. How did she translate to plastic? Let's find out. Octavia comes in the familiar Masters of the Universe Classics blister card packaging, complete with the Evil Horde logo sticker on the front of the blister bubble. The back shows off a selection of other figures from the Classics toy line, as well as gives us a brand new bio for Octavia. Now, pulling her out of the package, there is some minor assembly required. Octavia features 4 long tentacles that need to be plugged into her back via ball joints. They easily and firmly pop right into place. I'd recommend taking her head off in order to do this step, as it makes it much easier to attach those tentacles. Once attached, you can pop the head back on, and you've got your Octavia ready for battle. I must say, this is quite a beautiful figure. The Horseman once again did an amazing job of translating the cartoon appearance of this character into action figure form. The face sculpt is certainly a highlight on this one. This is a female face like we have not seen before in this line, featuring great fin-like ears on the sides of her head, and quite the receding hairline. Even though she's more monstrous in appearance, she still has this real wicked beauty to her. Her long orange hair has a great flow to it, and is sculpted in such a way that it flows right over those tentacles sticking out of her back. Those tentacles are molded in a darker green plastic than the rest of her green skin, and they feature some really nice sculpted details themselves, such as rings running all the way down, and suckers on the underside of the flipper parts. Her outfit has that very Force Captain of the Horde feel to it, featuring a nice yellow color scheme and a red Horde logo on her chest. She also features black boots on her feet, also emblazoned with that Horde logo, and long red gloves on her hands. It's a really great looking outfit, though I do have one minor qualm with it. Notice that her tunic sort of comes down into a pointed skirt. In the cartoon, Octavia wore a leotard type outfit similar to Adora, so I'm a little bummed that the decision was made to make this a skirt piece instead. But it is probably just a personal preference thing. She does still look really great otherwise, with a very nice paint job and a bright color palette. Alright you guys, let's go ahead and take a closer look at Octavia here. She's got a little bit extra going on, so let's first scope out the articulation on this one. Now, like I pointed out, the way her hair is sculpted, it actually does go over those tentacles on her back. So her head is still able to turn. It is still hindered a little bit because the hair is going to hit into those tentacles a little bit, but that's not a whole lot different than what we get anytime there's a female character with the long hair. So you can still turn her head left and right. It just isn't going to get a super wide range of motion. It does still move up and down just a little bit, but not too much because, again, it's hitting into those tentacles on her back. Otherwise, articulation is pretty much exactly what you would expect. She's got the nice ball jointed shoulders there, the swivels at the bicep, the standard single joint at the elbow, the swivels at the wrists. She's got the nice swivel there at the waist. She does have the really great hinge joints at the thighs. She's got a nice soft skirt piece there so her legs can come all the way outwards in a sitting pose. She does also have the swivels at the thighs there. She's got the single joints at the knees. Unfortunately, no boot cut on these particular female legs here. The way with the boots are, it's all sculpted onto the shins there, so there's no boot cut articulation. You can swivel the whole leg at the thigh. I do kind of wish we still had boot cut articulation. And then we come to the ankles, which I really hate to report this, but man, does she have the weakest ankles I have seen in a long time. I mean, look at that. And what's really bad about that with this particular figure is that with those tentacles, she's got some extra weight on there, some extra imbalances, and it really stinks because she's got some serious problems standing up. You can definitely pose her around, you can find the right way to keep her standing, and the tentacles do even help a little bit. If you've got the bottom ones kind of pointed downwards, you can help with the standing, but yeah, the ankles are really bad on my particular figure. They are very, very loose. The other thing I wanted to talk about was the crotch piece on this particular figure. I believe is the new female crotch piece, and what's different about it is it's made so that it doesn't hang as low. Problems we've had in the past with some of the skirted figures, I believe we saw it specifically with the Star Sisters like Tall Star. The crotch piece was too long so that you saw kind of like the articulation points of the legs poking out the bottom of the skirt. This is supposed to correct that problem, and it's going to be on all the female figures going forward. Now, the other bit that I pointed out already that I kind of don't like is the fact that she's got this weird pointed skirt instead of the leotard that she was wearing in the cartoon series. And I know that some folks kind of speculated that this might be a mistake, that maybe it was supposed to be glued down. I don't think so. It very much looks like it was made to be a skirt like this on purpose on the toy. So it does seem to be a design choice. It's not one that I really agree with. I do wish it was the actual leotard piece instead of the skirt piece, just because that's my personal preference. I think that would have looked better. The skirt doesn't look bad on the figure. I just wish I would have gotten the leotard on there instead of that skirt piece. Alright, so let's go ahead and move around to what you guys really want to see, which is the tentacles. Now, those are made of a solid plastic, so they're not flexible, they don't have bending material in them. Basically, they're a lot like the tentacle pieces we saw used on Slush Head. They are on nice ball joints, and here, let me actually pull her head off so you can see the back here. You can see that they are on ball joints, and they do have hinges, so you can move the tentacles around and out. Now, keep in mind with her hair there, you can't really bend these outwards like this with her hair there. The hair gets in the way. But they do have the ability to kind of swivel around. You can move them up and down and swivel them all around. So I actually kind of like, they work fine. I'm happy that they're not the bendy material, only because I would worry about it kind of deteriorating or breaking and stuff like that. So this does seem to work fine. And what's really cool about this is they're interchangeable with all the holes. So for example, the way I've got them right now, you can see she's kind of got the tentacles all kind of facing upwards and out, like ready for an attack. You can easily swap these. They pop out real easy there, and you can change their position. So, you know, if you wanted to, you can have them pointing more downwards, just kind of swap them back and forth there. And pop her head back on. And see, now we've got it so that the tentacles are facing more downwards. So you can kind of mix and match and pop those in there any way you want to, and that way you can get a variety of different poses out of the tentacles. So pretty cool stuff there. Swapping those tentacles around will give you multiple options for displaying your Octavia. You can get her in some great attack poses with those tentacles flailing about, or more relaxed poses with them down to her side. She is also fully stocked in the accessory department. She includes 4 identical swords, which are meant for each of her tentacle arms. Each is nicely detailed with a golden Horde logo hilt. They're made of a pretty sturdy plastic and feature handles that act as clips so that they snugly clasp onto the ends of each of the tentacles. In addition to the swords, she also comes with a Horde Crossbow. Done in a cool purple and black color scheme, this is unlike any Horde Crossbow we've seen so far. It features this really great Cthulhu-like tentacles head at the end. It can be held in either one of her hands, and in conjunction with those 4 swords, Octavia is quite armed up and ready for battle against the rebellion. Octavia is one of those characters we all saw on TV as a kid and wondered when her action figure was going to come out. After all these years, we can finally add her to our toy shelves. It was a long wait, but it was quite worth it. Though the figure is plagued with weak ankles which aren't helped by the extra weight of her tentacles, I am still happy with the way she turned out overall. She has a beautiful sculpt, and she's such a great looking character overall that even those who don't typically buy the Princess of Power characters would still love her, I think. And man, She-Ra has really got quite the competition. Look how our Evil Horde team is really shaping up. Octavia was made available on June 17, 2013, and is part of the 2013 Club Eternia subscription. She's sold out on Maddie pretty quickly though, so happy hunting, and until next time.